Good afternoon. Om Asatoma Sadgamaya Tamasoma Jyotir Gamaya Mrutyorma Mrutam Gamaya Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. O God, lead us from the unreality to the reality. O God, lead us from the ignorance to the wisdom and knowledge and enlighten our soul. O God, lead us from the mortality to the immortality. This is the meaning of this shloka from the Bhagavad Gita. We'll find that today the topic of our discussion is for the sake of the transformation of entire our life. Everybody would like to ask the question, what do you mean by the success? Everybody is in need of to have a progress in every life. Either maybe in a personal life, either maybe in a spiritual life, either maybe into the social life, or maybe into the professional life. If you look at to the current scenario everywhere, we find that but every footsteps we have problems, either problem with respect to the health, either problem with respect to the mental stress, either problem with respect to the professional progress, or either problems with respect to the societal segment. How to overcome all these challenges and the problems and obstacles in our life and to get rid of all this the difficulties in our life, that there is an answer to all these questions is the secret lies into our own original thought process. And many people advise us that let us have a very good positive thinking about your life and you will find that everything will be positive in your life. Does it solve the problems? How to have that positive thinking? The thinking, where from this thinking emerges? If you understand the thought process, where from the thought process emerges? We do have 5 senses and sensory organs based on the external environment. Our sensory organ captures those senses from the visual senses, touch senses or hearings or the touch. You will find that our systems, our nervous systems, our brain systems take the cognizance of that and immediately they try to give it the response to this, all the cognizance that has been taken by our sensory organ, and immediately our central nervous systems, our sympathetic nervous systems, our parasympathetic nervous systems, our peripheral nervous systems all acts upon that. And then you will find that accordingly the actions are being taken by the various parts of the body. Now here look at, this is a very critical questions. This is generally we find that if we wanted to heal ourselves, let us say we are suffering from certain disease. Let us say we are suffering from the diabetes, the heart attack, the cancers and many thousands and millions of our diseases are there and we wanted to get rid of that. How this is possible? With the thought process, is it, if I wanted to get rid of this particular all kind of the disease, does it take place? Will it be possible to manifestation of the curing of all these kind of the diseases from our body? Really? Are we free from these problems as far as the health problem is concerned? Answer to this all kind of the questions is yes. Second, then if you look at to the situational aspects in our body, let us say as far as this, we are suffering from the stress in our workplace. We know that many people are trying to corner you. Many people are trying to abuse you. Many people are trying to insult you. Many people are trying to suppress you. You are not allowed to do your own progress. In that context, what is that? The thought process you should carry so that you will get rid of all kind of these emotional stresses and you will get the emotionally balanced. What is that mechanism? So whether the question is there, whether if you have the proper positive thinking with you, how this emotional balance state can be achieved so that you are combating all kind of this negative impact on your brain. Depends on the thought process. The particular part of our brain starts acting and all our neurotransmitters are being activated, and as a result of that, positive or negative hormones are being generated and which are communicated to the specific sections or the specific organs of our body, which is communicated to the biochemical actions, and then this biochemicals reaches to the particular sections or the cells of our body, and when they touches to that particular cells, it is received by that cell we call as a epigenetics. Genes are there inside the cell, and epi means above that cells. Once that's chemical, which is generated by the specific thought process are reaching to that particular cell, the cell structures get deformed, get changed. And hence vice versa also, if you are really in a position to understand the sequencing of these cells based on the sequential structures or RNA or DNA or the structures of that particular sequencing, you will find that the thought has been emerged is of that particular type. If our thoughts are positive thoughts, the structure is going to respond like that. Apart from this ones, now the Dr. Joe Dispenza had made a very thorough research into this ones. He has actually scanned to the more than 20,000 people. Whenever any person is subjected to the various kind of the environment, our cognitive sensors, where the cognitive actions has been taken by our brain, and as a result of that, various parts into the brain. We know that in our brain there is a left hemisphere and there is a right hemisphere. We have a cerebrum, we have a medulla oblongata, we have a amygdala, we have a thalamus, hypothalamus. These are the structures of major part of our brain. So with respect to the situation, with respect to the thought which emerges into our mind, which parts of our brain is impacted, what kind of the signals are generated, which are the electrical signals which are generated into the brain. Generally we know that EEG has been taken generally based on our mental status. If we are disturbed, the EEG signals are different. We have a alpha, theta, gamma kind of the frequencies which are captured as far as the EEG is concerned. Based on this brain wave, our mental stability can be evaluated. This is the science, and that is why based on whatever the thought process, the neurochemicals, whatever the chemicals inside into your brain which are generated, which is going to communicate to the requisite part of the body to perform the specific actions. And ultimately, if our thought process is very nice, if your thought process is positive, everything that you would like to act upon it, everything that you would like to have into the reality, it starts getting manifested. And that is why here we would like to have the very proper way of thinking. Then you will, one fine day you will find that excellent, whatever the things that you are expecting into your life to get manifested will be resulting into your in reality. That is why this Dr. Joe Dispenza, who has done this kind of the various innovations and invention, he checks with all the MRIs of the various patients, and he is going to give the subjections, or he is exposing to this all the patients to this particular mental state which is called as the state of being, and which is responsible for balancing all kind of the emotions. Ultimately the changes in the brain waves is possible, and that is being seen there. And hope if you understand this scientific approach of how the things bring into the reality is understood, then whole your secret of the life is revealed. Thank you very much.